Okay, so tonight I just kind of want to talk about signing distributors, how I get people interested, how I stay organized, how I seal the deal, and what I feel has been working for me. Because I feel like, loyal customers is the easy part, and that's kind of the first thing we focus on, and then distributors is what everybody kind of struggles with, at least most people. So the first thing that I can tell you guys is I've been doing this for 18 months now. And when I first started, all I was told to do, because I had no experience in this, I had no clue what I was doing. And somebody just told me, post the 3-3 rule. And that's what I did. I posted 3-3 rule. And it was actually, I did 3 before and afters. It wasn't even product. I was posting 3 before and afters a day, 3 live posts a day, and like some pictures in between. So I was posting like a lot when I first started, and I did that every day for 5 months, and that's when I went diamond. And then I actually I got into my own like groove of posting, and now I do like a 2-2 rule. I do 2 live posts a day, 2 product posts a day, like 10 posts total. But if I have a slow day, I do 5, and then the next day I'll catch up with my schedule and do the other 5. But you guys have to at least, if you're not doing live posts, you're not going to have distributors join your team. The product posts are for your loyal customers. Your live posts are what going to pull your potential distributors in. And when you first start, we're not making money. Okay. So a lot of people struggle with, okay, what do I need to write about if I'm not making money? You guys need to talk about why you started this business in the first place. Okay. Why you decided, okay, this is why I started. Be raw, be real. And Allie touched on this, people don't relate to success. If all I ever talked about was how I got to the top and that I love being, or not to the top, but to diamond and love being here, nobody's going to relate to that. They're going to be like, good for you, Caitlin. Like, how is that going to help me? People relate to struggles. So if you talked about why you considered this business in the first place, where you want this to take you, like, what are your dreams with this business? For a lot of us, it's just that extra $500. I think most of us thought Ruby would be fantastic. I don't know anybody who wouldn't love $500, and most people know that that's obtainable. I don't talk much about making a full-time income. I don't really talk about the big bonuses we have because I feel like people just don't believe it. So I always like to talk about the extra $200 to $500 and how much that could help somebody's life. So I post 2 live posts a day. I usually do one that's kind of short, sweet, and simple. Maybe it works paid for my gas, or maybe it paid for my new tires, or maybe I had like a meeting for the day and I love talking about the support that we have. I make it short and sweet. And then usually at the end of the day, around 9:30, when most people are in their beds, I feel like that's when people are the most active on Facebook. So I always make my really good, I call it story time life post around 9:30 at night, because most people are in their beds on their phone. So I have a better chance of people seeing this post at night, in my opinion. That's just kind of what I've been doing. And I just kind of write out a lengthier story. People like to read stories, not so much in the morning when they're getting ready for work. That's why I kind of keep my stuff short and sweet in the beginning. Most people are getting up, getting ready for work, or they're at work. So nighttime people are just laying down and they're more willing to read the more lengthy stuff. When you're new and you're not making money, something else you can talk about besides why you started or where you see yourself going with this business is, I call it the 4 fears, or the 4 excuses is what I've kind of just termed it. These are the 4 main reasons why people think they can't do this business. And I like to touch on that and let people know, like, you are not the only one who, thinks you can't start because of this. So the first one is that they don't have any money to start. Shocker, right? Because that was all of us. That's the whole reason we considered this business in the first place, was because we didn't have that extra money. That's why we considered this. So a lot of people are like, I can't do this. I don't have the extra money. I'm like, I know you don't have the extra money. What are you going to do about it? If I had somebody as a potential, and it's been a year now and she still hasn't been able to start, and she's like, I really like to do this, I just don't have the money. I'm like, if it has been a year and you have not had an extra $99, you need this business more than anything. If it's been a year and you haven't been able to scrape up the $99, you need this. So you need to find something to make it happen. All those people that say they don't have the money, I tell them, look, I get it, and here's what you can do. You can sell some clothes. You can sell some baby items, some shoes, some purses. You can babysit, go mow lawns, go clean houses, dog sit, save $5 to $10 from each paycheck. Borrow the money from somebody. I don't like to suggest pre-selling wraps. I kind of use it as a last resort, because when people talk to their friends and their family and they're like, hey, will you buy a wrap off of me for $25 so I can start this business, and they tell you no, you're going to be like, if I can't sell to my close friends and family just 4 wraps, I'm not going to be successful in this business. And that's not the case. I think most of us know that our family and our close friends are the hardest people, or the last people to really support us or buy from us or join our team. I think that's most of us. So I don't like to suggest the pre-selling. And the fact is, people probably have that extra $99. They just haven't prioritized what they're spending money on. Like, give up Starbucks for a month, give up fast food for a month, save up your money. So that's one of the things I like to talk about. Like, hey, maybe I'll share a success story of somebody who said they didn't have the money and this is what they did to come up with it and get started. And the second one is people think they don't have enough time. And so I like to share success stories about people who are in college or working full-time. They're still successful at this business. Or one time I signed up a little customer while I was shopping at the mall, and I took a picture of the store I was in and took a picture of the email and overlaid it on that picture and said I was out shopping today and I helped somebody sign up with hair, skin, and nails or something. Like, I was multitasking. I have time. I know you go to the mall. You got time. A lot of people, if you guys work another job, use that to your advantage, please. I know Jordan's on here. She works 2 jobs and she's doing this. A couple of you work a job or 2. Let people know that you work 2 or 3 or just 1 job, and that you're still able to work this business around your current schedule. I think I kind of envy you guys, because I'm a stay-at-home mom and I feel like people think I have all the time in the world. I couldn't even imagine trying to do this and working another job on top of everything that I already do. So for you guys that have a job, use it to your advantage and talk about that. How maybe you were currently at your other job and you helped sign up a little customer. Like, you were multitasking and doing this. Like, use that to your advantage. It can be a short and sweet live post, and like, just, people don't realize how much that they're on their phone. And, you know, all you really got to do is be able to check your phone maybe like 5 times a day and do a power hour. And I feel like anybody could do this business. And I know we all check our phones more than that. So the time thing is one of them. The third thing is that they're not a good salesperson. Do we have a question? Somebody is unmuted. Okay. The third thing is people think that they're not a good salesperson. And when they tell me that, they're like, you know, I've been considering it, but I'm just not a good salesperson. And I'm like, good. I don't want you to be a salesperson. Tell them good. And that's going to throw them off. And they're going to be like, what? Be like, you're perfect for this. And I don't have to rewire your brain to get you out of that mindset. I don't want you to be a salesperson. I want you to use products. and share your testimony with it. I want you to share your journey with this business. I want you to share your customers' testimonies and other teammates. That's all you got to do. It's like taking a picture of your Starbucks drink and saying, hey, I went to Starbucks today to get the new flavor, like new pumpkin spice latte is out, and just sharing that and talking about how much you love it. And then everybody seeing that post and then going to Starbucks, and 10 of your friends just went to Starbucks because you made a post about it, that the new flavor was out. And you just didn't get paid for that referral like Starbucks did. That's all that you're doing. So I let people know, like, good, I don't want you to be a salesperson. You're perfect then. And then the fourth main reason is people think that they don't know enough people. So I'm somebody who is pretty much a hermit because of the kids. Now I'm actually getting out more because everybody's getting a little older. But I'm like, I don't leave my house. Like, thank God for social media, because I started with this business when Sydney was 2 months old and Mason was 20 months old. And I didn't get out. We're a military family, so we're by ourselves. And it was just too much of a hassle to take 2 kids anywhere. And if we did go somewhere, I had zero time to blitz anybody or whatever, because my kids were awful when they were babies. So I let people know, like, you don't have to know a lot of people. 90 to 95% of my sales are from strangers, people I've never talked to before, people I've never met before. I find them on Instagram and Facebook, and your market is endless with social media. So the people I'm signing now, I don't know who they are. I've never met them before. It's somebody I struck up a conversation with through Instagram or Facebook. And so sometimes when I sign up a loyal customer, I'll be like, I just helped Ashley get started with our hair, skin, and nails. We met on Instagram last month, and I'm super excited to get her started on her hair journey to healthier hair or whatever. So I'll mention, like, hey, I've never met this girl before. I met her through Instagram, and I made money with it. So you don't have to know people. So those are like the 4 main fears / excuses people use to say that they can't get started. So if any one of you were to give me an excuse right now as to one that you've heard, like if you guys were all potential distributors and you gave me an excuse, no matter what that excuse is, I could rebuttal back and tell you that that's not an excuse. So those are just the 4 that I hear all the time. So I never, when I'm in a conversation with somebody and they tell me that they can't do this because of this, I turn around and let them know, yes, you can. That's not a good enough reason. You can do this, this, or this. You can work this business around your current life, current schedule. You can go as fast and as slow as you want. You've got the most support and the most training that you're ever going to have. No crap, you don't have money. Neither did we. And we made it happen. So I just let people know that they can do this. No matter what they tell me why they think they can't, I let them know that they can, regardless of what they think. A big thing for me, I don't cold message for potential or for distributors. It's really easy for me to cold message for loyal customers. And then if anybody ever says, well, I don't have the money, that's when I'll flip it and be like, I totally understand. Would you instead be interested in learning how you can make some extra money from your phone? If so, I'd love to help you. That's pretty much what I say. So that's when I'll do a cold message as a distributor, but I open it up for customers. So a lot of what I do is attraction marketing. And it's just, I make sure I have really good quality, nice pictures. They're not spammy. Most of my life posts are personal and ones that I've written myself. They're original. I know Allie touched on this too. You can't copy and paste some of my life posts and turn it around to you because it pertains to me. So I pull people in and I try to relate to as many people as possible. So I'm a stay-at-home mom. I hardly ever talk about being a stay-at-home mom. Most of my team are not stay-at-home moms. So it's like, how am I relating to them? What am I doing? What am I saying to try to relate to other people? And honestly, I get most of my ideas in the shower. I'll be taking a shower and I'll think about like a topic, and it'll pop in my head and be like, I could turn that into a live post. And then I take a Post-it note and I write it down. I've got like 5 Post-it notes that are covered in like a sentence or two of a topic idea. So I've already got my live post set up for the night before for the next day. One of them was, I'm not currently on WIC or any kind of government assistance, but I used to be. And it was when I was pregnant with my son, and we didn't really need it, but we qualified for it, and it helped us with our groceries. And I actually had one check left with my name on it for some food. And when we moved to North Carolina, we took a pay cut, and that's when we actually really needed it. But even though we took a pay cut, we didn't qualify for WIC anymore. And so that was years ago. And I just took a picture of it and talked about how I've heard people say, or like how much WIC really helped me. But then there are some people who are on government assistance that are afraid to do this business because they don't want to lose that government assistance. And I basically just said, look, would you rather struggle and live on government assistance the rest of your life, or take a chance and make money to where you wouldn't even need that assistance anymore? So like that's not something I'm currently going through or whatever, but it was something that I related to originally. Like, I'm not currently a college student, but I have been a college student. So maybe I'll talk about my college days and how I wish I would have started this business back then, when my husband lived in California and I was in Ohio, and I didn't have kids. I had all the time in the world then, and I was a full-time student working. I had like 18 credit hours a semester, pre-med. So it was all science classes, all hard. And then I worked in our library 16 hours, which was full-time because I couldn't afford to spend more time at another job. The library at least let me study. So one time I talked about, we know college books are expensive. And my husband's currently in college, and one of his books was like $100. So I took a picture of his book. It was like, man, I remember college books being super expensive, and I had to use my school loan to pay for them, and how I wish I would have had this business back then, because I could have sold a box of wraps to pay for one of my books. And I had somebody who's actually a customer of mine who hasn't ordered in quite a while reach out to me, and she saw that college status live post that I made, and she goes, hey, I'm currently in college, and I saw your post. Books are super expensive, and I would just love to be able to make and help, because she was like living off of one income, her husband's income, and she wasn't doing anything but school. And she's like, I would love to be able to help cover the cost of college, even if it's a couple books. So like, that's not something I'm currently going through. It's something that I know some people struggle with. Dog moms. I'm a dog mom. You can talk about, if there's ever an emergency with them, or my dog has seizures, so she's on medicine every single day. She has checkups, and she gets pretty expensive sometimes. And so just having the extra money to cover emergencies, or just a backup fund. I'm trying to think of other ideas. What else do I do? I don't know. I just try to think about topics that I can try to relate to every single type of person that is out there. Even if I might not relate to them, I can talk about the subject and what I think about it, and relate it to this business, and how that business can help. I can talk about, I talk to moms all the time who work 40 plus hours a week, and they still don't make enough to cover their expenses, and how just making a couple extra $100 from their phone could lift that burden, because they don't have time to go out and get a second job because they're already working so many hours. Does that make sense, you guys? Like, I try to relate then more to what I relate to, which is just being a stay-at-home mom. And I try to reach out and relate to other people, because a lot of what Allie said, like, is what I think in my head, and she just gets it out better than I do. But what's going to make you stand out as a distributor over anybody else? You have to assume that every person that is on your Facebook or Instagram has another distributor on their Facebook or Instagram. And so they're fishing. They've got people to choose from. You are not the only person on there, I bet. So what is going to make you stand out to relate to them? Oh, we're going to chat. Debbie. Okay. So that's what I try to do. I try to be original. I'll talk about some struggles. And now for me, you guys, we've never financially struggled, like really bad. We've always been able to pay our bills on time. We've never had the power shut off or anything like that. But when I got pregnant and had Mason, I knew I could not put him in daycare and leave him and go to work. I did not want to do it. We could afford for me to stay home, so that's what we did. And then we had, I got pregnant with Sydney 9 months later after Mason was born. And we're like, oh my God, like we're going to have 2 kids in diapers. Mason was sort of on formula and sort of on breast milk towards the end. Formula is super expensive. And like Allie talked about, like she doesn't have a kid, but she like took a picture of formula in the store and talked about how super expensive it is, or like a box of diapers, and how she doesn't even understand how some people can afford kids. And she talked about that and just how this business could help somebody in that situation. So even though that's not something she relates to, she was still able to kind of talk about it and give her opinion on it. But anyways, I started a photography business. I still have it. I have a web page. It's not something I have time for right now. I do stuff on the side here and there for friends. But it wasn't enough. And being pregnant, it was just too much for me. So then we got down after Sydney was born to $100 to last us for the week. Now we had about $4,000 in our savings, so we weren't going to die. But we don't like to touch the savings at all. We pretend like it's not there. That is for emergencies only. So we had $100 to last us a week. And he's like, you have to go get a job. And I'm like, dang it. Like, I really don't want to. And then I just saw this post. I prayed about it. And this post came up about making $500 from your phone. And it was somebody I knew from school. And I was like, girl, sign me up. And I signed up 2 days later. I was one of the people that saw one post and I signed up right then and there. So in my time of need, we have to think too, like what pulled us in? You know, what was it that you saw or you read or you heard that pulled you in? I feel like I see a difference, but I'm going to have to take a picture. What do you think? I can't see, it's in the shop. My best friend just wrapped for the first time. She let me wrap her. But I got to take a picture. What are you looking for? Ooh, I don't know where it is.
Maybe if you take that and rock it, baby him.
We have a question?
I just got my button on accident. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're okay. I'll just find you. Okay. What was I talking about? Don't dance like that.
What made you start?
Oh, what made me start? Yeah. So, like, we have to remember what we saw or we heard that pulled us in. For me, it was actually like a spammy post. It was literally like a Pinterest post, and it was like $500, and there was like a cell phone, and it talked about the Ruby bonus. And I saw it and was like, well, I trust her. I know her. Had it been not somebody I had known, I don't know if I would have jumped on it like I did, but I knew her, and I was like, she would never scam me. And Ryan looked at me, and I've been a victim of 2 scams before because I've tried other things to work from home, and we almost lost money big time once. Do you remember that? The babysitting thing with the wheelchair? It's like too long. It's I'm really stupid, and I was really desperate to work from home. So anyway, so Brian looked at me and was like, girl, I don't know. And he let me do it. I don't know why. Pretty much because I don't want him telling me what to do most of the time. But yeah, so like think back to what drew you in. Maybe you saw a live video. You jumped on somebody's live video, or what they talked about. Feel free, I don't know. Feel free to pop up any questions in the chat or unmute yourself if you have questions. I forgot I had a team meeting tonight, and I scheduled a one-on-one with Devin for tonight. So Devin, I'm going to ask you first. What specific questions did you have for me if I haven't covered them already? You'll have to unmute yourself. Or I can find you. There you go.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yep.
I don't know that I had as many questions as I just really suck at life posts. And I don't do them as much as I should. I don't really do them at all. I won't even lie. I'm terrible.
Yeah.
I'm terrible. I have talked to a couple people, and then I don't know, like, I guess I don't know what happens after that. I just, even if I follow through and then I don't hear anything back, and then I followed through with one person recently and she didn't answer, so I was like, okay, well.
So one thing I can say that some of the life posts, oh my gosh, it's already been almost 30 minutes. I will start another one up, you guys, if this runs out. I don't have the free unlimited time. One thing I have noticed of yours is when you do life posts, I can tell it's copy and pasted or something that's really generic that can apply to other people. Because there are sometimes I follow a lot of leaders, and I'll see a post that it's like generic and just talking about something specific and it doesn't really relate to me in any way. And I'll post those every once in a while, but you kind of just have to, I know you have a job and you're a mom. You've also got dogs. So, I mean, you will just have, yeah. You'll just have to bounce ideas off with me, I guess. I feel like I can turn anything into a live post. Like if somebody gives me an idea, I think it's something that I've become really good at now. And the people that I have signing now, you guys, are people that I've talked to for months. Very rare do I ever have somebody sign up who I just talked to. Like I'm supposed to have somebody sign tonight. And she, let me see, when I met her on Instagram, and I like to get people added to Facebook because I hate Instagram messaging. So I let them know, like, hey, is it okay if we connect on Facebook? Because I hate Instagram messaging. If not, that's cool. Just bear with me. And they're usually like, yeah, I'll add you on Facebook. And on Facebook, you guys, that's more personal. Most of my distributors come from Facebook. And it's because, like, we tag each other in team stuff, and they like to see that there is that support. But I talked to her in November. So we talked, and then she quit answering me, and she just now messaged me and said, hey girl, so I just went through our old messages and I think I'm ready to get started with you. I haven't talked to her since November. She didn't answer me after we chatted a little bit and I followed up with her. I don't follow up with people every Friday. I think I just kind of go with my gut feeling on if I should be a little bit more pushy or not with people. Some people just kind of want their distance. They want to watch. You've planted a seed. And she, you know, she said, and who knows, she might not follow through. She might not join tonight. I've had that happen before too. But that's somebody that I have talked with now a couple times, and it was a long time ago, and I still make it a point to like and comment on her stuff when I see it. Yeah, Nabby, seriously. The dog food is what she was talking about. And we have 2 dogs too, and they're big dogs. One is 70 pounds and one's 50 pounds. And they eat a lot of food. We have to buy the 50-pound bags, and we go through those like once a month or once a month. I think it lasts us about a month. But anyways, oh crap, what was I saying? You guys, I have like ADD. Just that I had to talk to people for a couple months before they sign up. What I do to keep track of people. So Facebook has this thing where you can create groups of people, and people don't know that they're added to these lists at all. It's just for you. So let me see if I can share my screen with you guys real quick. Okay, so if you go to, is it friends list? Right here, I created these lists. One is potential distributors, and I click on it. So this entire news feed, you guys, is going to be my potential distributors. So when I want to interact with my distributors, I'll pick a day to, I have certain days where I interact with people. So maybe Mondays is my day to interact with potential distributors. I'll go down this list and I'll just like and comment on everybody's stuff. So I know that I'm interacting people that I've talked with before. I keep my name popping up in their notifications so they never forget about me. And sometimes when I follow up with people, it's never about it works. I'll just try to start a different conversation with them. Like, these are my potential little customers. And I'll go through here and like and comment on some of their stuff. And then I have one for my team. So when I want to show love on your guys' pages, I'll just scroll through here and start liking your guys' stuff and commenting and bumping your news feeds up, showing that we interact with each other. And then I made one for loyal customers because you want to keep up with them too. So I have a list for my potential loyal customers, list for potential distributors, teammates, and loyal customers. And I'll just, each day, I have a different day for each of these. I will go through and like and comment on their stuff. What else do I do? I think when I have 2 scripts, I've got, and when I say script, I don't mean it sounds spammy. I've got a script that explains what I say about the business. Do you guys want me to read what I say when somebody asks me what I do? Do you guys want me to read that? As I'll read it for you guys. I keep it super simple, and then I know that their next question is going to be, okay, how much does it start to get started? And I have a script for that, and it doesn't sound spammy at all. So what I say is, they'll ask me, and I'll say, so what I do is just share our products and business with people through social media. So literally anywhere you have your phone, you can do this. You can also work face-to-face doing parties and events if you wanted. We don't have to purchase and carry inventory, which is great, and we direct anyone who is interested in buying to our website. We make money a few different ways. Commission from our sales, commission from our team sales, wrap cash, weekly $100 bonuses if you earn them, and promotional bonuses when we have them. There is no minimum selling requirement per month, no penalties for quitting, and you go at your own pace. I have an amazing team who is super supportive and helpful, and I love the positivity that this has brought into my life. It's been nice to have some financial freedom and help pay off debt. I would love to help you earn some extra money because who doesn't love extra money, right? How much per month would make this worth it for you? So I end it with the question. They're going to have to respond back. Most of the time they're like, yes, like I love that. This is how much I'm willing to make. What do I need to do to get started? And I say, to get started, you must buy the one-time only required purchase of $99 for the business kit. This comes with marketing materials to help run your business, 4 sample bottles of defining gel, and a free box of 4 wraps. You can either use these wraps yourself and show people your results, or sell them for $25 a wrap, making your $100 back from the kit. I have a website you would sign up through, and then we would start your training. And most of the time, you guys, people just give me a date. And they're like, okay, I can't do it for a couple weeks. And Allie was saying this too. She tries not to leave a conversation without getting a date. And I've started to do that. And if they don't have an exact date, they'll be like, well, I have to wait until my next paycheck. And I'm like, okay, well, what date did you have in mind? And I'll put it in my calendar. And they'll be like, I'm just not sure. And I'm like, okay, I'll follow up with you in 2 weeks. I let them know, you're going to hear from me in 2 weeks. And then I'll do that reminder thing that she was saying where you set up the appointment in the messenger. So now it's like letting both people know, like, hey, she's going to be checking in with you today. And so when it comes to just sealing the deal, if there is anybody who ever gives you an excuse as to why they can't start this business yet, write a life post about it, like the next day or that night. And Jordan's smiling. I've done that to Jordan a couple of times. There are a couple of times I think she has said something she had going on, and I made a life post about it, like later, like trying to relate to her in particular, but other people as well. So like you guys have to know who your audience is, who your followers are, you know, what they're going through, and make a life post that's going to kind of hit them hard or something that they're going to be able to relate to. Find a success story of somebody that might be in that person's situation. And let them know that there are other people going through this too, and that, you know, they made it to the other side. What else? Do you guys have any questions for me? Anything that anybody's struggling with in particular, they think? I don't see anybody saying anything. Devin, do you have any more questions?
No, I think I just need to work better on these life posts.
I mean, that's obviously the good place to start because, like I said, I don't cold message for distributors. So I will message people if I make a live post and they like it. Then I'll message them and say, hey, thanks for the love on my post. I really appreciate it. I'm looking to help one more person make a couple extra $100 from their phone, and I wanted to check with you and see if you would be interested in that. I will send that message if they like a live post, but in order for that to happen, I have to make the post first. Because if I don't make a post at all, then I have nobody to message. So you got to start there. You really got to just start with one a day. Start with one a day and then work yourself up